Hey everybody, welcome to the Player's Take, episode 305. I'm your host, Justin DeSimone, joined by my co-host, Montrell Rice. Montrell, how are you this week?
I am super tired.
Okay.
Super tired.
Yeah. They're
Super
working you to the
tired.
bone, grinding you down.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm just over today. I'm over today, and then I gotta get through tomorrow.
Do you
And
have like
not
a
only,
job site you're
yeah,
doing, or?
yeah. I mean, I was prepping for the job site. I'm doing the same job site that I did like a month ago. They just
Oh,
dropped 2 more trailers, so now I gotta
okay.
do those trailers. And I don't know. I was the ever to become a manager, I am going to ban all meetings. I hate meetings. I think meetings are one of the worst things ever invented in the corporate space. If it's not immediate, if it's not like we're going to get laid off, you can send me an email. I don't need to
Yeah.
have a team meeting every week. I
Well,
don't care about anything
okay.
else. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
So,
sorry.
okay. So I am a manager. I
I
agree
know
with
you
you
are.
very much so. I hate meetings too, dude. I'm like high level executives exist to just sit around and talk to other people. That's their whole function within an organization. All they do is talk. Like that's all they do. And that's necessary to a degree. But being a manager, like I try my absolute fucking best to avoid meetings as much as possible. Like obviously sometimes you need to have a meeting. It needs to
Yes, I
happen,
agree.
you
Yeah,
know,
I
but
agree.
dude, there are times where I get meeting invites and I am just like, and I go to the meeting and I'm like, brother, this could have been a fucking email. Like, why did I sit here for 30 minutes and listen to this fucking nonsense? Like, you're gonna send me an email anyways with all this information, so why are you showing me this? Like, it's just, it happens a lot. It is super common. It's really frustrating. It's like meetings to like justify people's existence just to have something to do, but you're like
I
wasting my time too. So
well,
it's
the thing
like,
I don't like about it is, okay, like if I have a project coming up, right? If you're one of your employees has a project going,
mhm.
say they're going to a store, right? They have to open up a store. They have to go to a store for something, right? And it's on the calendar.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this.
Yeah.
Um, and it's going to take a while to do. Would you still want that employee to? Would you like adjust the meeting so that the employee can still join the meeting, or would you just say like, "Hey, do your
Um, depends on what it
it's
is. It depends
it's
on
a
what it
it's a
is.
it's a weekly team meeting."
Okay. No. I mean, oh yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I mean my team's small. Like it's literally two people and me right now. So if
Mm,
one of them can't make it, yeah, I'm gonna adjust the meeting if I have things I need to talk about. For
okay.
sure. But sometimes there are plenty of times though when that happens, I just cancel the meeting. I mean, I'm like at that point, I'm just having a one-on-one with the other person. You know, it's like, and I already do that once a week with them. So, but
Well,
do you guys do you
it's
daily stand-ups or no?
no. Thank God
Okay.
we don't do that. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
want none of
I
that.
fucking hate daily stand-ups. And right now, the people at my company in technology, like every fucking team does daily stand-ups. And I'm like, bro, how much time are you all wasting? Like, holy shit. Dude, if I did daily stand-ups every day with my teams, I'd lose my fucking mind. Like there is not enough for me to talk about every day. Like once a week sometimes I'm just like I'm just
And
talking about things we already know and just giving an update on it, you know? It's like I
yeah,
don't know, man.
I can respect once a week, and we do once a
Yeah.
week team meetings, but we have
Yeah.
2 team meetings once a week. We have like the full team meeting because the full IT team meeting because it's like 10 of us in IT under the IT umbrella.
Oh, wow.
And
So
then
it's not just your team.
yeah, so the Mondays we have like our weekly team meeting where it's like the entire IT team. And like I said, it's only 10 of us, including the managers, I believe. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That's
So
small.
yeah, we had 2 system admins, 4 techs, one level 1 guy, a BI analyst, and then yeah, our 2 managers. So it's like yeah, it's like 10, right?
12.
Um,
Yeah, 12 people.
12. Okay. Um, so all 12 of us are on the call there, and then the field techs, we have a meeting with our manager um on Fridays or whatever. Um,
Mhm.
so that's the one that I'm like, I don't. I understand that you want me to go to this weekly meeting, but I can tell you what I did this week, next week, because I have to do this job site. I don't want.
Do you guys do one-on-ones every week or no?
Yes, we do.
Oh, so
Not
you do
one
that
every week.
too?
Not every week. We do that every month or every 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, that feels
I
unnecessary.
I don't know. I just I appreciate the weekly meetings, so don't get me wrong, but I don't feel like it's a big deal if you miss one meeting. Like if I just
No,
missed a
I
meeting
don't
because I'm on
disagree with you. I don't disagree with
because
you.
I'm
I
on a
like I'm
job
not
site.
I don't bend over backwards to make sure everybody can be there. Like if somebody can't make it, they can't make it, dude. It's fine. Like it's
Yeah, and that's
and if
how
there's
I
something
feel.
pertinent I need to tell them, I'll just tell them in a message or an email or something, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So like that's how I feel. I have 3 scheduled meetings every week, and it's the internet meeting. So we have to talk to our one of our vendors every week. They give us weekly updates on like upcoming job sites that we've requested internet ISPs for. And then
yeah.
like my 2 team meetings or whatever. So I'm already, and each of those is like 30 minutes to an hour. So it's like that's already like 3 hours out my week or whatever. And then not to mention like random meetings here and there that I may have or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I just I worked from home one day, right? And like um my wife has it even worse, right? This is not just a me thing. This is like a corporate wide epidemic of meetings.
Oh, it is. Absolutely.
I think they should be banned. Like
No, we had an issue. We had an issue a couple of years ago where, dude, it was people were out of control with it, dude. Like where they were scheduling meetings on Fridays, like in the afternoon. Like it was like I would, dude. There were periods where I had like 5 hours of meetings 5 days a week, you know, and I just wanted to blow my brains out. And it was the kind of thing I was talking about, where it would be a meeting where somebody's talking about something that could have literally just been an email and like no one's contributing. There's no discussion. We're not talking about anything. It's just one person talking at us for 30 minutes. And it's like, that is not worth a meeting, you know? It's like, that is an email, my friend. Like, that is an email. You send the email out and great. We all read it and we're happy and it's good. You know, it's like, so is that kind of stuff. Or like, we would be like talking, like over talking about things we're working on, like we're meeting every day on a project or something, and it's like i don't I don't know if I need to meet with you daily on a project, like, you know. It's like, so it's stuff like that. And eventually like a lot of us complain about it, and the leadership actually kind of like endeavored to get people to stop doing that as much. Like we kind of made Fridays like the day we don't nobody schedules meetings on Fridays for the most part. It's kind of become like an unwritten rule.
yeah.
Which is fucking great. Okay, because yeah, Friday's the day where it's like you want to buckle down, get some shit done before the weekend, and you know, it's like focus and stuff. So, um,
Yeah, I don't know. I just I understand. I understand the importance of meetings. Don't get me wrong. And I'm being very I'm over exaggerating like my situation or whatever. I just hate meetings. I just I don't know. I
well, are
just
they expecting
sometimes
you to get on the meeting from the job site, or like go back to the office and be on the meeting?
I truly believe they want me to be in the office for this meeting, and I really just want to be on site for it. I really want to be on site for the meeting. But I don't want to spend a whole hour on site for this fucking meeting. And
Yeah.
uh yeah, it's
Well,
just
especially if you're so you would you be driving straight to the job site if you didn't have this meeting? Like, and you spend the
yeah,
whole day at the
I
job site, basically.
yeah, I'll be spending my whole day at the job site.
Yeah, see, that's a waste
So
of your time then. I don't know how far away
so
from the office the job site is, but it's like,
it's about 30 to 45 minutes away.
what? That's
So
such a waste of time. Oh my
yeah,
god, that's crazy.
yeah, and I don't yeah, I just don't I it's and I understand why she did it or whatever. It's just she thinks like, oh well, this is part 2 of the deployment, and it shouldn't take that long to do. And unfortunately, a lot of stuff got piled into this fucking second part that I'm like, it's pretty much a second deployment at this point.
Yeah.
And I gotta fucking mount 5 TVs. I gotta fucking put up a click share system. I gotta fucking put up 4 APs. I gotta do then configure that. I gotta configure a fucking small printer. Like I gotta do all this shit.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
that's not gonna that definitely sounds like that definitely sounds like a day or more of work for
yeah,
sure.
I can get it done in a day. I just need like unimpeded
Uninterrupted time,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and is she not
So
listening to you? Like, is she not hearing
no,
that? Or
so it's not even that. I just feel like it's a courtesy thing. Like I have this deployment tomorrow, and expecting me to be at this meeting that's a weekly meeting. That's not like I'm not saying it's not important. It's just like it's a weekly meeting.
right, it's not the
Um,
meeting. It's not a meeting for like a brand new project or something that would actually
exactly.
you'd actually need
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
at. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just a meeting talking about our wins and stuff that we need to go over every week, or that we discovered throughout the week, and just a weekly checkup meeting or whatever, and stuff like that, and maybe some stuff she wants to talk about and stuff like that, which is I respect that. It's just that we have Microsoft Teams. You can record the meeting, and
Uh-huh.
I can watch that. So I don't know. I don't want to stick on it too long, but it's just
I understand.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a lot and everything.
I'm with
So
you. I hate meetings.
yeah,
But
I just been
dude, if I have
doing
nothing to talk about in the team meeting some weeks, I just cancel it, dude. I'm like I'm, I'm like I'm just gonna have us get in the room to say hi. It's like, I mean, I'm already here. We're already here. It's just there's nothing to talk about. We're working on the same shit we've been working on since last week, you know.
yeah. So I
Um
don't know. It's just weird, but
because
it
like
is what it
I mean I
is.
have one-on-ones with my team, right? And I'm like I go over the work they're working on with them in that, generally. So individually they know what they should be working on and I know what they're working on. So it's like the meeting we have as a team is for them to kind of talk to each other and basically say what they're working on because I already know, right? So it's really not for me. So that's why it's like not that important for that meeting to happen. So generally it's for me to give announcements, talk about projects coming up, things we're working on, things of work that might be coming up in the near future, like in the next week or two. And then it's like they say what they're working on to the rest of the team. And then if there's anything like, oh, I found this issue that's been happening, or I found a solution to this issue we've been seeing a lot, or something, or I wrote this document, like those kind of things. It's like, yeah, sure, that's great. I'm not saying you don't want to have that forum for that, but it's like if you need to cancel it one week, just cancel it. It's not a big deal, you know. So
Well,
I'm
it's
with you.
it's
I'm
other
totally with
people.
you.
Yeah, it's other people that can join the meeting, but it's just like
Yeah. Yeah, so it's
they
just you
can.
that's not gonna be there. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's just me
yeah,
that's not going to be
that's
there.
I
So
don't that seems that's very weird. I don't
So
know.
I
It's
mean,
like,
I'm gonna make the meeting, but I'm also gonna like have my headset on so I can like actually do work when I'm not talking, and I can like mute everything and then just do work. And that's what I'm gonna do. That's gonna be my solution for that problem because I'm not stopping. The meeting
yeah.
is. I'm not saying the meeting's not important. I'm just saying I don't want to be at this job site till 5 o'clock.
Dude, it's weird though. I mean, the
Yeah.
meeting is okay. The meeting's important, but it's like, let's say you have 100% of something, right? If you take out 2% of that, you're still at 98%, you know? And in this case, it's actually not even really that. They're not canceling the meeting. Like, it's like you're taking out 0.5% of the 100%. It's like one person is not going to be there one time, you know, like
I
one
don't.
week. It's not that big of a deal. That's weird, man. It is
It's one
weird.
of those things where it's just like I feel like they get offended if one of us missed the meeting. I really feel
Dude,
like that.
that's so interesting, man. So people are so
Yeah.
interesting, like how different we are. Like, dude,
Yeah.
I don't like some weeks I don't even want to do the meeting. Like, and I have things to talk about. I'm just like, oh my god, like, it's just like but I have to do it, so I do it. It's just, but some weeks I'm not up for it, you know. So I don't know.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know. It's this week has been really weird because I really feel the pressure for me to be like this pseudo manager.
mm,
Um
hmm
so I have been delegating a lot of stuff
Is
to
that why she
people.
wants you at the meeting though? It's like that's weird. No,
Dude,
that would be weird. That would be weird.
I
I
don't
don't know. Whatever. We're reading into it too much.
yeah, we are. But it's
Yeah.
just I already told my wife like I don't know if I want to be a manager. I whatever. And she's like, usually those are the best people for management because you don't micromanage, you do what you need to do, and then usually 9 times out of 10, the workers respect you for just respecting them and leaving them the
Yeah.
fuck alone, and they do
Yeah.
their work. And I'm like,
No,
yeah,
and it's
that's
true.
usually
It's
yeah,
true. Like I think I'm in that. I think we're both in that same camp, and I'm in that camp with my teams, right? Like I for the most part I leave them alone. I know what they're doing. If I need something from them, I'll hit them up, but I'm not like over their shoulder, right? And yeah, we have mutual respect going both ways. So she's not wrong in that regard because I don't really like want to be a manager at the end of the day. Like, but it's just kind of the path my career's gone. But it's like, so in that regard, I understand where you're coming from, but I will say, like, if you were to get into a role like that, once you got into the role, there are going to be some things you're going to hate doing. Straight up, it's just there's no avoiding it. You're gonna be talking because at that point you're gonna be talking to other leaders, and you're gonna want to blow your brains out sometimes. You know, because these people are just like you're gonna run into some of them who are fucking brainless. Like the reason they're a manager is because no one around them wanted the position. It's not because of any merit of theirs, you know. That those are the worst meetings to be in. Like so but
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. Like I said, love my job. I love the flexibility I do get. I love the freedom I get. It's just just little stuff like that. I just don't. I personally just don't like meetings. I haven't liked meetings ever since I started working like corporate jobs.
yeah,
And
yeah, I agree totally.
it is what it is. Yeah,
Corporate meetings
but
are so boring, but yeah.
yeah, and I think that's like this is a video game podcast, but I think the majority of our generation workforce is in corporate, and I think that's relatable to everybody. So,
Yeah.
so
Well,
yeah,
I mean, we're the host of the show. I mean, I feel like people maybe want to know something about us. It's like I don't know. It's just we're shooting the shit. This is how we catch up during the week most of the time. So sorry if you
yeah,
don't want to deal with
yeah.
it. I mean, similarly on my front, work's been a little crazy for me too. My boss put in his resignation this week, and our chief security officer also put in his resignation on the same they're leaving on the same day. So I'm like, so there's a lot of chaos happening from that, which is great. I'm probably going to end up getting more responsibility put on my plate, which is fun. So um so yeah, works great for me too. All right, Montreal, let's get away from this and let's get into the games. That's what the people are here for. All right. This is, if you haven't listened before, this is our weekly show where we talk about video games, video game news, and other topics pertaining to video games. We post at 6 a.m. Central Time on Fridays on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and your favorite podcast app of choice. And if you'd like to send us questions, you can do so on Twitter at The Players Take, or you can send us an email to theplayerstake01@gmail.com. All right, Macho. Let's get into what we've been playing this week. I can start. Let's just start with League. We've been playing League. We've been grinding the Rift.
Yeah.
We've been climbing. I think
I
I'm
will
bronze
say
1.
I'm bronze 2.
Yep.
28 LP.
Okay.
I will say we are climbing really good. I think we could hit silver probably by if we
The
keep
next
going at the
session we
rate.
play, maybe.
Yeah, if we keep going at the rate we're going, I think we can hit silver by like either this week or next week. And honestly, if all goes well, we probably hit a gold by the middle of February. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now we're getting a ton of LP right now for wins. So I think if I win 2 games, I'm in silver 4, basically. And you'll be in bronze 1. So
I think that's the key, though. We can't spam games. If you
yeah.
spam, because I finally, like, after all these years, I finally figured out why people say that and everything. Because the LP games the LP games didn't used to be this inflation or inflated rather.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, you didn't play League like in season 7 and 8 or 9 or whatever.
No.
This was like a new thing they just started maybe 2 seasons ago, where each tier, like silver 1, silver 2, silver 4, 3, 2, 1. Between those tiers, you had to do promo games. So, so you had to do 3. You had to win 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Promo games. And then to get to the actual another division, going from like gold to silver, you had to win 3 out of 5. So it was fucking. I mean, it was awful, but I also feel like it kept people where they need to be at that didn't need to be in other places, if that
Yeah.
makes any sense.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like the matchmaking was a lot more fair, if that makes any sense. It was a slower grind, yes, but it was a lot more fair because I could carry like when I used to play bronze games, when I got to silver, or not silver, but gold, for like my 2 seasons, um, bro, when I went through bronze games, literally the easiest games I can play. Like they were not this hard
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
It's
I
rough.
don't, I
It's
don't,
rough, dude.
I don't know. I mean, maybe two because I'm playing support now. This is literally my first season playing like official support as my role.
Mm-hmm.
I played the jungler, which was more so like I don't want to say the carry of the team, but you had to really know the map and everything like that. And
You
yeah,
having a
I
lot of
mean,
influence over the way a game goes as a jungler.
yeah,
You know?
exactly. And we actually feel that this season. I actually didn't understand. I mean, for me playing jungle, I understood, but I didn't understand it from the perspective of other laners.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I played mid lane and jungle, so like both of those positions are like roam friendly. I can if I pick a mid laner like Silas or Akali or Zed, I or Echo, I roam. I push lanes and then I roam. Well, you can't really push with Silas, but he's such a lane bully against mages that primarily go mid that
Mm-hmm.
I can roam because they'll be scared to pass the river up front or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I can roam with Silas or whatever, and I can still help my jungler out in that way when I got gold with going mid lane as well. So it's like um but being in the bot lane, primarily support, I can roam in that one, which is probably why I like that role so much because I can roam. But the problem is when I roam, I have to be very cognizant. I'm on a timer, like a 20-second timer. Like I have to be cognizant of when the wave is bouncing back towards them, and then you're not under tower anymore. You're alone. Like you have to start walking up and
Yeah.
stuff like that and getting CS or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me. I'm trying to get that time down and everything because I have to impact the map as well because that's how support is overpowered in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And I see it some games where I'm just like I'm helping the entire map and like no one can stop me and they're just not expecting it. They're not expecting this Leona or this fucking Lux to come out the fucking side bush and gank them or whatever. So it is a powerful role. But now that there are more objectives on the map, I'm important, but the jungler knowledge is like
Yeah.
super key, bro.
Oh my
We
god.
cannot have a bad jungler. If we have a bad jungler, we have to carry the game. Like there is no other option
No,
at
I
that
mean
point.
to the point that me and you have been like securing objectives without the jungler at times, dude. Because I play two carries that actually have like a smite-esque ability in their kits, like in terms of Jhin and Varus. I can do as much damage as smite with both of them, if I time it correctly. So it's like it's not as risky necessarily as doing it with other characters, but it's still risky. But sometimes our junglers are just so bad, dude. We don't have a choice. Like we're literally like we have to take the fucking dragon, dude. Nobody's here. Let's just fucking take it while we have a shot. And
Yeah.
actually, usually it's been working out, dude. I've been stealing dragons left and right this season. Like, like I think I've stolen at least like 4 or 5 so far. Like,
Yeah,
it's
we
fucking
both have a good record. Yeah.
it's fucking nuts, dude. Like I'm like I'm sure the enemy team's just like, what the fuck, and shit like that. But so it's been fun. I do think the stuff with the roaming, yeah, I mean the thing with you roaming is the enemy bot lane needs to take advantage of it from their perspective, and
Mm-hmm.
in low elo they just don't seem to usually. um They'll only do it if they think they're gonna get a kill. But if I can manage the wave correctly, like I can make it so that it freezes outside of my tower, like right outside my tower, and usually I'm okay. There are times like where you're gone for a really long period of time though, and it's
Yes.
just
Yeah.
it's so hard to maintain the lane solo like that for
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 minutes at a time. So there have been times where it's gone on too long and maybe I should say something and the tower's getting destroyed and I'm like shit, man.
Yeah.
But you're like getting
I
kills on the map and stuff, so it's like I don't.
no. I mean, yeah. No, you're right though. I can't. the time limit is like 20 to 30 seconds. Like,
Mhm.
so usually when I recall, I run down the mid lane
Yeah.
before I start going pathing ready to path. And that way, like if there's nothing going on, that I can just path bot lane instantly
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
like it's not, mid lane's like the most accessible lane.
Yeah.
The one lane I do neglect though is the top lane, and I feel
Yeah.
like sometime I can influence top lane a lot more better.
Yeah.
But it's also like getting back to bot lane when I
It's a
do top
lot of
lane.
movement.
It's
Yeah.
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 So
You
I'm,
would
I'm
need
trying to
teleport
figure
or
it out.
something.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. I understand why Pike is always banned now because he has a lot of movement in his kit where he
Yes.
he he can get
Yeah.
across the map and influence the map
Yeah.
really good.
Um,
So,
Something else I think like we need to be cognizant of in the lane too is when our enemy laners roam, including the ADC.
mm,
I feel like we fucked that up a couple times. Like you remember that Ez game where I was getting really
yeah,
frustrated? They
yeah,
were roaming a lot as a duo, and we were not following them effectively. Like we weren't we should have been leaving the lane behind them, but we were doing it too late, and they were
mhm.
getting tons of kills. And we ended up winning that game, I think.
We did.
Actually,
We won that
funny
game.
enough.
We won
Yeah.
that.
We
Yeah,
ended
we
up
came
winning that
back.
game. But yeah, that one stuck out to me remembering. I was like, yeah, dude, they kept roaming and like we were not following them properly. And we were showing up after our team was dead, and it was like, fuck, dude. So that's something we got to be cognizant of too, is just keeping an eye on that as well. I need to call that out when I see it too, but
Yeah, I
um
need to do it as well. We both need to
yeah.
do it.
But
I,
but I'd
I
say
don't know.
overall, I think we're playing pretty well. I mean, dude, there was a game yesterday, dude, where I was Varus and I was just fucking destroying the enemy bot lane like 2v1 constantly. Like it was they were probably it was like a nightmare for them, dude. Like and was that the game we ended up losing though, where our team
Yes,
couldn't peel?
yeah,
Yeah.
they couldn't
Dude,
peel,
that was
man.
so frustrating because I was dominating, bro. Like I had that Jinx and Blitz in a fucking blender, dude. It was insane. And yeah, just later in the game, like our team, the enemy team, just the other lanes were powerful enough and they just kept diving me. Oh, that wasn't that game actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. No, that was the game with Twitch. I'm
Oh
forgetting.
yeah,
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 that was the game with Twitch. The one I'm talking about, yeah, I think we won like in a landslide. Because
yeah.
yeah, I
No,
was
the
just
the Blitz Jinx game, we won that game by a landslide.
yeah.
The fucking Twitch Nautilus, was it Nautilus or was
It
it someone
was. It
else?
was.
It
It
was Nautilus.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was that game, and I don't know. I had to figure out how to counter Twitch. Because when I'm playing like Leona, my main objective is to peel for you. That
Yeah.
game, I was getting very frustrated because the game before that, I was peeling for you like a motherfucker, and you were
Yes.
getting like hella kills.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
this game, I was trying to peel for you. The problem is we had a front line, but our front line didn't know how to use their front line, especially
Yeah.
the fucking Amumu.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, no one knew how to use their alts, and it was just a really bad
Fizz was
like,
scared. He wouldn't go in. He wasn't
yeah,
assassinating. He should have been targeting Twitch and just killing him. Like I saw him late
instantly.
game. I saw him late game 100 to 0 him, and like he didn't. He wasn't doing that otherwise though. It was weird. So
Yeah, he had a good KDA though. He was 11-5 by the
I
end of the
want to
game, but
go.
we lost it.
No, after we're done with the pod, I think I'm gonna go load that game up and watch it because I want to understand like what could I have done better there, because I was
Yeah.
getting super frustrated because every fight was playing out the exact same way, and it's like, could I have taken different angles? Could I have approached better? Like, could I have just waited things out a little bit more? I like because there was a one late game in the middle where I waited until everyone was visible and then I went in and you guys were all in front of me and I felt like I had a front line, but then Twitch went fucking invisible and went behind and killed
Mm,
me. And it was like, even in that situation, one of them grabbed me, and even like the Twitch wasn't good either, man. I feel like the team told him what to do, because he wasn't doing that all game. And then all of a sudden in that fight, he fucking does it, and I'm like, fuck, man. So I was getting really frustrated also because it just like every fight, dude, it was one of them was just diving me. It was Kane, it was fucking Cat, Twitch, and who was the top lane? It was Darius. Yeah, Darius. Dude,
Darius, yeah.
it was so fucking irritating. And we had Fizz, Amumu, and
No,
who
I
was
think
our
Darius was on our team, right?
no, Darius was on our team, wasn't he? No,
Yeah, he was on
no,
our team.
or was it Garen? I'm trying to remember.
Garen was on the other team.
Was Garen the
Garen,
enemy team,
yeah,
and that
Garen
was
was
we
the
had
enemy.
Darius that game.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, it was just super frustrating because I mean, they have a lot of those are champions that all have movement, gap closing, ways of flanking. And I just feel like our team was not very good at like locking them down, you know.
And what's crazy is we had the lockdown potential. Like all of
Yeah,
us had lockdown
definitely.
potential, and we
Definitely.
just didn't use it effectively in that
But
game.
dude, I felt like I was playing in a different level of league, like a different elo, because they played it right. I was dominating the game, but I've never been focused on like that late game, you know? I've never seen it happen like that. I've been focused on in the laning phase for sure. Like when I'm popping off, I've seen that happen plenty of times. But I have never seen a team concerted effort to just straight up kill me late game like that, like mid to late game. I've really
Yeah,
never experienced that before. And it was interesting cuz yeah, that's my point. I feel like I need to go watch the replay to learn from it because I need to understand how to counter it myself as Varus because I don't have a lot of
mhm.
movement. And yes, the team needs to peel for me, but I also need to be able to handle those situations better, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
Yeah,
so I need to figure out like kind of what happened there, what I could have done. I'm sure there was plenty of misplays in there.
yeah. I'd probably eat
Um,
dinner and watch at the same time if you put it on the stream.
yeah, yeah, because I was I think dude, I was like 15-3 at one point. And I think I ended the game at like 17-9 or something. It was so
Yeah,
annoying. It was
yeah.
a super annoying match. So
It was a really annoying game for sure.
yeah, but yeah. So patch preview came out a couple days ago though for the next patch for this season. I don't want to go over the whole thing, but a couple things they're adjusting. They're going to be adjusting Otacon a little bit. His voracious form, which is the one that gives the revive, the team revive. They are going to make that appear more often, but they are also, I think, doubling the amount of gold you get for killing somebody when they have the thing on. So you'll get 200 instead of 100.
Okay.
So I think that's actually a good idea. I don't know about it showing up more, but I think making them worth more gold is definitely better. There's still some risk involved, and you can't just into
I
the enemy
I
team for
just
free.
I think that they don't want to nerf. I mean, because they are doing system changes to the blood roses too. Are they like nerfing the blood roses?
They are scaling them differently, is what it sounds like.
Okay.
I think they're going to be worth more early game, and as you get more of them, they're worth less. Is what it
Oh yeah,
sounds like.
it does say scaling nerf. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Um.
So
Yeah, I think um the ruinous one is the one that gives you all the blood roses. I think he is completely broken.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, I don't think he's good at all. Or is it the it's not the voracious one. The voracious one gives you the
The
revive, right?
revive. It's the
Yeah.
what is it? Furious or something, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
because it's ruinous and then voracious, and I think the voracious.
Ruinous. Yeah, ruinous. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
it looks like yeah.
And
So
then
it said the developers aim for a 70% ruinous, 30% voracious form. However, they encounter a massive imbalance in Summoner's Rift where it leans heavily towards the ruinous, um,
yeah,
and Swift Play leans towards the voracious. So the developers have decided to nerf the voracious form by doubling. Well, also developers will also nerf voracious form by doubling the gold reward for killing the victorious champions or whatever.
yes,
So
yeah.
okay, I mean that is a good nerf. I still think Ruinous needs a balance change. I don't think.
Less flowers.
Yeah, I just it feels very. You can just feel it, man. When you get the fucking Ruinous one, it just feels like like a fucking weight has been handed to you, and you have
Yeah,
to deal with it
yeah,
as a player, especially if
yeah.
you're behind. It's kind of
Oh
it's
yeah.
wild.
Well, and it sucks even more for us as a duo lane because we're always underleveled compared to the rest of the team, you know.
Yeah.
So we're even further behind. And it hurts a lot. They're also they're going to be buffing a couple ADC items that I thought were notable. Lord Dominic's Regards and Mortal Reminder are getting 5% armor pen.
Ooh, they're going
Um,
back to 40, or is it
yeah,
45?
I think
Oh,
it's
they're
going to
going
be
back to 40.
35 and 40. So Mortal Reminder will be
Okay.
35. LDR will be 40%. So
Okay.
I think Lord Dominic's is going to be pretty strong now. They're also buffing Yuntal Wild Arrows. They're giving it, I think, 10% attack speed and 5 AD. They
Yep.
said for 100 more gold. which is a pretty significant buff actually. So those are going to be insane for crit builds now, for sure. And then there was one other thing. That might be it actually for now.
Oh, they're
But
buffing Yumi.
yeah, I saw that. No, I meant with the ADC items.
Okay.
So yeah, there's that. A bunch of champions are getting buffed and nerfed. Tom Kench is getting nerfed, thank God.
His only his
Um
Q damage for
Yumi's
so
getting
far.
buffed. Yep, Yumi's getting buffed. Smolder's getting buffed. Kane Blue's getting buffed. Master Yi's getting buffed. Salty's
I
gonna
don't.
terrorize
I
the
don't.
rift, bro.
Yeah, I don't think Kane should be getting the buff. I think he's already powerful.
Well, they said
But
blue specifically. They
yeah,
think
that's the
blue
assassin
specifically.
form.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
think
one that
that.
can move really fast across the map.
Okay. Yeah, they said he feels weak right now, according to them.
Yeah,
So,
okay. That dude feels fucking crazy
um,
good.
yep. And then a bunch of stuff for Swift play, which we actually haven't tried yet, but that actually I'm very curious to try it. To be honest, because if it's as fast as it sounds, like it'd be a really good way to play some norms. If we don't have a lot of time, one night we can get like 5 or 6 games in potentially in a couple hours. That would be pretty sick. So, but I don't know. I'm fairly happy with the new season though overall. I think you know, I think there's some issues with the systems, but I don't feel like there's any characters necessarily that are like unbelievably broken that everybody's fucking playing. Tom Kench is annoying and he is very strong, but he's not getting picked that much in our
I'm
games.
banning him because I'm banning him every game.
You are banning him a lot. It's true.
Yeah.
True. You are banning him a lot, but you're not banning him every game. There have definitely been some games where you've let it go through. So I don't know. They said assassins also are fucking weak as shit right now. Like they
They
suck.
are. They're fucking weak as
So,
fuck, man. It's crazy.
um,
I just don't
yeah,
want them too powerful though, but they are weak as fuck though.
that was another thing that Freak was saying. I actually listened to the patch preview that he does.
Yeah.
And he said that he wants to long term strip away armor from everybody, like every character in the game, basically, and get everyone down to like 80 to 90 range, like late game, as their like base armor value.
Okay.
Because right now they're sitting at like 110, 120. It sounds like for most champs, and he wants to just like strip that away. So, but he's saying that the game combat, he said combat is slower than it's basically ever been in League of Legends. And they're happy with where it is. And they're not looking to put more damage back in the game necessarily, but they do want late game to they don't want characters to be as tanky as they are late game. So
Yeah, I do think that I do think it's like a tank problem. Not it wasn't as bad as it was last season. Last season
Yeah.
at the end of it was just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But they do have systems in place to kind of counter that now. But some characters you can definitely still feel it on, and I mean I think it's still a thing. I mean Reddit still the ADC Reddit still talk about it sometime.
Yeah.
From time to time. So we just haven't been experiencing it in our games because I think bruisers are more effective right now because you need the bullying for the objectives instead of like waiting for your juggernaut to get really big or your tank to get really big and stuff. So I think the games are a lot more slower, but they are a lot more chaotic in my opinion.
Yeah. Dude, the early game is insane. Oh my god, there's so many objectives. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
You got fucking Void Grubs, Rift Herald, Baron, Dragon, Otacon, the fucking boot objectives now. That was the other thing they're changing. They're getting rid of First Blood. They're making it first to 3 kills instead. So it will match the epic monster objective as well.
Yeah, I think that's more fair.
Yeah.
I think that's way more fair. Ooh, excuse me. I think that's way more fair. First Blood was just
it's annoying.
It's because some people can get fucking caught out during invades, and it wasn't.
Well, teams are playing weird too. They're invading all the time. They're making really stupid plays to get First Blood. Like the jungler's showing up at like level fucking 2, or some shit to like get to get First Blood. It's like, dude, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know if it was last night or night before last when me and Salty played. I think it might have been last night. Me and Salty played Norms, and I was lucky. It was misfortune. We were not winning the lane, by the way,
Yeah.
bro. We had a 4-man dive. Like they were literally hovering us, like running in and out the bush and everything on
Yeah.
the bot
Yeah.
lane, just waiting. And we were like, "Are they?" And they did this for like at least 60 seconds. It was crazy. I just
Yeah.
never seen the people stay that long for a. Well, actually, I have. We experienced it with that new that we were playing with, but I don't know, man. Yeah, like the first blood junk is like crazy, man. How people were just really trying to get, or they were trying to get the tower. They were trying to get the tower, and they really wanted first tower.
Yeah.
And they just decided to 4-man dive us, and it's just really it's getting insane.
Yeah. But I think that's what Riot wants, though. They want to force engagements, you know.
Yeah,
So, we'll see. We'll see what else they're what else they're planning. But I'm enjoying the game though overall. I think Otacon's cool. It's a very I think it's a really interesting monster because it's really strong. Like I think it's actually more threatening than Baron because of when it spawns, you know?
yeah,
It does a
and
lot of
and,
damage early.
and it's in rare it spawns. It's very evasive.
Yeah.
It's like right in the lane in your face. You can't
Yep.
avoid it. You know.
Yep.
So
You can't roam. Like it's like you have to like it's you can't roam through it sometimes
yeah,
necessarily. Or if you use an AoE ability, you're gonna aggro him, you know?
exactly. Yeah,
So it's like there's
I
like a
actually
fight
like it.
happening there.
Despite like the ruinous one, I still like both of them. I still like the idea of it. I personally can't wait. This is going to be the first season I'm like going to be super invested in like esports version of this because
Mm.
I can't wait. And they have that what's
Oh
it called,
yeah, the draft mode, the new draft mode,
yeah,
fearless
the new
draft.
fearless draft mode where they can't pick the same champion in the same series. So they can like if they're playing a series like best of 5, they can't pick the same champion they picked in the last game. Which I think is
Yeah.
going to be very fucking cool.
Yeah.
Or they can't pick the same champion they picked last game or something like that. Yeah, whatever. So I think like if if it's like 2 games ahead and they want to pick that champion again, I think they can still do that, right? Something like that.
No, they can't pick it in the same series at all. So
Oh shit.
the
Okay.
enemy team, like you can pick what the enemy picked. Like if
Yeah.
so like if the enemy picks like Master Yi, he's not banned for you next game, right? But so basically what it means is depending on how long the series are though, if they go to best of 5, I mean you need to have legitimately 6 or 7 champions in your pool that you play.
Yeah, because somebody might ban your main.
Because
Yeah.
you could get banned, like your character could get banned, like one of your characters could get banned. So I it's a big change. I feel like it's a risky change. Pros are going to be annoyed because trying to maintain that large of a play like a character pool is a lot, dude. Like I playing playing 3 characters in League I feel like is a lot, and being good at 3 characters is a lot. Being good at 5 to 7 is fucking insane. Like that is a lot of characters. So,
But I
um,
think also, right, this is why you're a pro. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have
yeah,
the time in the
yeah,
scrims to do
100%.
this. This is what you're getting paid for. You don't have to play the same, 3 champions or whatever. You're getting paid to play 5 or 6 champions or whatever. So I actually like it. I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, it just means the permutations though that they have to practice are almost infinite now
Yep.
because like you all 5 of you need to have a champion pool 5 to 7 deep, you know. And you need to play with every combination of those 5 to 7 champions, you know,
Sure.
to actually properly practice. So it's like I don't feel like you're going to have enough time to really realistically cover it all. Where
Well, I
you're going
think
to
that's
be
what Riot wants. I think they
yeah.
want the randomness. I think they want the solo queue aspect to come to the esports
Where they're not
scene.
like prepared, like they might know the champion they're playing, but they don't know how to play it with the other champions their teammates have
Ex-
picked. You know,
Exactly, because
yeah.
we essentially do that, right? We have
Every
our
game
3.
we do
Yeah,
that every game. Yeah,
we have our 3 people that we play with, or our 3 champions that we play with, or whatever. Which is the recommended amount to have if you want to climb. You want to have 3 champions in your pool, and then obviously go from best to worst as far as
right.
like who you're playing, right? So
Yeah,
for me, like it'll be like maybe Leona Lux, and then my third my bench is Senna. That's my bench warm up, And then if
Yeah.
all of them are banned or taken, then my last pick is like Pike or somebody, or not a listen, then Pike.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's like I do like that. Like I do think it's gonna be a solo queue aspect to it. And I really want that to be in pro because that should be pro, in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
I understand like these people like they stay, some of them stay in houses with each other and they practice and all that stuff like that. So even if I do pick, you know, a random support or whatever, you should just know based off how I play. Cause now like even when me and you were playing, I know like, okay, first of all, I do want to compliment you. Your confidence is crazy now. Yesterday, no, for real. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yesterday, when we were playing, I backed off because usually I want to keep fighting. And you're like,
Yeah.
no, keep fighting, keep fighting. I was like, oh shit, okay, I'll keep
Yeah.
going in.
Yeah.
And we won that battle.
Yeah. Oh no,
So
yeah, I knew we had him, dude. Like it was. You talking about the one in Try, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Where we were getting ganked and you ended up dying, and I think I was about to get. Oh, that was the game. That was the game with the Fizz. Yeah, because I literally got like a triple kill, and he fucking just came in and stole the last one. I'm like, I was
Exactly.
annoyed because
Yeah.
dude, I just like you ended up dying, but dude, I just fucking wrecked them. It was the cat and the fuck. Who was their jungler?
Kane. It was Kane.
Kane, yeah, it was Cat and Kane. I fucking blew their asses up, dude. Like, and because they were on top of each other, and dude, when you land a stun on two people, it's so good for Varus because I can hit them with everything, both of them, you know. So basically, you stun them, I throw my E on them both. They're slowed. I'm hitting one of them, and then I empower arrow through both of them, dude. I am fucking destroying their asses. Like they're done, you know. So that's pretty much what happened there. And they weren't focused on me. It makes me wonder if those that early fights like that one like made them realize like, holy shit, we need to kill this Varus. You know, it's like because yeah, there were a couple like that early on, and it was rough. So yeah. But I appreciate it. I mean, there's things I still got to work on though. You know,
for sure. But it
map
was,
awareness sometimes is still just not there.
You know what? I don't even think it's your map awareness. I think it's your use of sums. I think you have to start using your sums.
I get too hesitant to waste them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like I know what you mean. No, barrier. I've been really working on this with barrier. Is like, dude, I need to just use it every time I need to use it. It's the 3-minute cooldown. Like, what am I afraid of? You know, it's just like it will be up by the next time I need it, more than likely. You know.
Yeah.
So I've been working hard on that specifically. Flash, I'm still a little hesitant on, but I'm trying to use it preemptively more, where like somebody is trying to catch me and I use it to get away from a grab or something. You know.
Yeah.
And because I do a bad job of that where I end up getting into a hairy situation and then I try to use flash when it's like too late and I end up dying anyways. It's like there's too much of that. So yeah, no, I'm with you on that for sure. But yeah, having fun with League though. It's good. I don't think we're getting like super frustrated either. I mean, we're not at our like rank plateau yet though, so I'm sure we'll get there eventually. Other than League, still just playing Wuthering Waves. I'm kind of just slow grinding this game now when I have time. I haven't really done a whole lot of the story in the last week. I'm just trying to get my account level up so that I can do higher level versions of farming. I'm trying to get the echoes. I'm like hard capped right now with my echo collection because I need to get to Union level 40, which unlocks the last tiers of the data bank, which allows you to guarantee 5-star echoes. So I'm trying to get there. I'm level 39 right now. I'm literally gonna hit it tomorrow, I think. So I'm finally gonna get there. It's been like a week since I hit this like barrier, basically. And it's a little kind of a frustrating part of the game because I think it's unnecessary, like to gate this like this. The game doesn't do a lot of this gating, and this is like the one place it does it, and it was kind of annoying when I ran into it, where because it happened on like Saturday last week. I was trying to get my data bank leveled up, and I was doing it, and I was doing, you know, it was fine, it was going fine, and then I hit level 18 in the data bank, and it's like to get to 19, you need to be Union level fucking 40, and I was like, fuck, dude, like, and I was nowhere near it at that point. I think I was like 31 or something. So It was that was a little frustrating. But once you're through it, it's done. There's no more gates really with that anymore. And I have a lot of resources saved up right now waiting for that because the way the game works, there's this echo merging system that they let you do, so you can recycle useless echoes into a new one. But they use your data bank echo drop rate as the how they drop. So if you have a 50-50 on 5-star or 4-star, it will drop as one of those when you do those, when you do the fusions. Same with these, they give you these echo boxes as well as a reward. It's the same thing with those as well. So I'm just kind of holding on to all this shit until I can guarantee 5 stars, and I'm just gonna mass unlock all this shit and mass recycle.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm working on trying to get my characters leveled up and weapons and stuff leveled up. So but still having fun with the game though, so it's good. There's a lot of content now. I think you've got easily a few months of stuff to do if you're kind of playing it casually. And as you're doing that, more content will be unlocked as well. That they're releasing in patches and stuff. So I think the game's in a pretty good state now. I will say the one other thing I want to complain about though a little bit is a lot of the events in the game are very end game catered. So
Mm.
I am not strong enough to do them right now, the limited time events. I can
Oh,
only
okay.
do like the very early parts of them, and I'm not able to like go through and do it all. So I don't think they do a very good job of catering their events to players of all levels necessarily. They're like the way Genshin did it from what I remember is there's usually like kind of two tracks. There's like the easy track that almost literally anybody could do, and then there's kind of the more difficult track that has rewards as well, but it's for players that have kind of like leveled up their accounts and characters and stuff. They need to kind of adopt that kind of system because right now it feels bad. Like it doesn't feel good. Like I'm just sitting there. I want to do these events, but like I literally my characters literally aren't strong enough. And there's
Yeah.
nothing I can do until I get my union level up. So and that's not something you can just grind. Like you have to like you get it using your energy every day. You get these like daily tasks that you can do that gives it as well, but those only give a certain amount. So it's like you don't have a lot of means to get it other than that if you've done all the quests and everything that are available and you've explored everything on the map, which I'm not at that point yet, but it is a bottleneck. So yeah. Um, but other than that, not playing anything else right now. It's just work's been kind of busy and hectic. So I've been kind of just been doing League, Wuthering Waves. I've been very much into this OnlyFangs streamer guild in World of Warcraft hardcore. Otherwise, so yeah. What about you, Montrell? What else are you playing?
I'm just playing metaphors, so I'm grinding. I'm in the grinding phase. I do have some complaints. I mean, I'm not done with the game yet, but I as much as I appreciate the lore in that 20-hour expose of shit, like
Yeah,
literally, it was like I had a whole day, y'all, where there's one part of the game where when you beat this one temple or this one dungeon, after that dungeon is nothing but like exclusive shit.
yeah,
You can't build any characters or anything like that. And I feel like that's super unfair. Because the 30 days is not enough. You get two new characters
yeah,
within that 20-hour time period of exposition. And they don't build their relationship status up or anything like that. You just get them and that was it.
yeah,
Um and so if I want to get my souped up powered versions of them, I got to get their bond levels up. But that's like, you know, let's just say the average bond takes half a day, and then you can't do them at night. With some characters, you can't do
yeah,
at night. So that's a whole. That's like if there's 8 bond levels, or you start at bond level 1, so it's 7 bond levels to get up to 8. That's 7 days. That's 2 characters. That's 14 days already gone out of my 30 days to level up. Some
yeah,
of the dungeons I want to do take 2 days to get to, even if when you get your upgrade version of your gauntlet runner or stuff like that. So that's 2 days out of that, and God forbid, like you kind of mess up and you're like, okay, um, kind of want to recoup and then go back and try to do it like I want to farm or whatever, and then you can't do that. So I mean, there are methods of farming, obviously, yes, and they want you to kind of exploit those methods, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like it's realistic. Like especially with the mana, like the mana scarcity in this game is absolutely fucking obnoxious. And
Yeah.
I don't remember it being this bad in Persona,
Yeah.
but it's fucking terrible in this game, bro. It's uh there are certain times where I want to clear out a dungeon and I know I can't do it, and I gotta just like beeline it for the dungeon boss or whatever the case may be, or I have to wait till I get higher enough level, which is usually 3 levels ahead, to just like outer world them or overworld kill them. So
Well, do you know about the mage passive, archetype
yes, you get
passive?
1 XP,
Yeah.
but you get
MP
1 MP
per
per
kill
kill.
if you kill an enemy
Yeah,
on the overworld. Yeah, and
yeah.
usually usually what I would do is dungeons have those like crystals that endlessly spawn enemies. You just like camp one of
Mm.
those and stand there and constantly just press square. It takes like 20 minutes. It's fucking annoying as shit, but um it's a way to grind while also refilling your MP. So
Yeah.
that's one method that you could use.
Yeah, I did find this dungeon where there's a hallway full of skeletons, and they give,
Yes.
and it's usually like the weather's pretty bad there. So if you kill them in the overworld, you get extra XP.
Yep.
So I've been doing that and grinding off of that just to get my archetype levels up.
Yeah.
I feel like those are a little bit more important than the base level, and then I'm gonna work on the base level. I feel like the base level stuff probably be handled a little bit more towards the end game, but I really want to get my archetypes up,
Yeah.
and everything. So because I so far I only unlocked 3 royal archetypes. So and that's for like the first 3 people I get, and I'm trying to work on my fourth person that you get, the ninja guy.
Hmm.
I don't want to say any names because people might be trying to play the game. So um yeah, so I'm trying to get him up as well because he's like, I use him as an evasion tank. Um I usually
Mm.
switch off between him and Hulkenberg. I know you don't like Hulkenberg, but Hulkenberg is like, my Hulkenberg is like super powerful. And she can she can take a lot of shit. And
I okay. Like, do you use her against bosses? Like, is
yeah,
this
I
like
do use her against
normal fights that this is working with, or like
I
maybe I'm
use her
just an
against bosses.
maybe I'm just a
I
fucking
use
moron. But like, whenever I
I
tried to taunt with her, dude, the enemy would just AOE, and it was a waste of a turn. Like, I shouldn't have even done it. It was like,
well, I usually use her so I use her in conjunction with,
yeah.
or oh shit, I'm sorry. I use her in conjunction with the dancer. And
Oh shit!
just
Should
skip
I
skip like 20
should I
seconds
bleep
ahead,
that?
y'all.
Should I
Yeah,
bleep that? Yeah.
can you bleep
Yeah.
that?
Let me
Bleep
let
that
me
for
write
me.
the timestamp down.
Yeah. So I use the conjunction with the dancer, and
Yeah.
uh, and so I usually get more turns. And what I usually do for her is I'll use her combined move, where she gives everyone like either a shield or a shield against physical or
Yeah.
magic,
Mm.
and then I have the taunt come in. So usually I'll do that. I use her for that. I don't even use her for the taunt. I just use her for that primarily, and then I'll probably swap her
Okay.
out or something like that.
Okay.
So she's really good for that. Um, and then I use the dancer as well. Like for the dragon, for instance, that I beat, I figured out that, I mean, you told me this, but I forgot. But I figured out I just reflect the fucking damage
Oh,
against
so
them.
you did that? You did the fire one? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah. The
I
other
did the
two I heard are a complete pain in the ass, dude. Like, so.
yeah, and I will say, because it happened to me the first time, we were like, I got him like half level, and he just like, well, you know what? Fuck all this shit. All you guys are dead. And I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is this? And there
Yeah.
was no draw up to it. There was no conclusion. There was no like he's charging his thing or anything. It was just like,
No,
boom,
that
you're dead.
boss is really poorly designed. Like, there's no tell that the ability's coming at all.
So I
There's no.
heard like if you use a repel or if you use
Yeah.
some type of, yeah, if you use like a repel,
You
then
have to.
that's
That's how I did it. Yeah. You repel the attack, and then you give him fire weakness. So if you give him fire weakness right before he does it, and you have repel on all your entire party, he'll get hit with all 4 of them. reflecting onto him, and he just instantly dies. Like that's the strat. That's like the goofy strat, and it works effective. It works surprisingly well. But basically, you have to sit there because most of his attacks are fire. So you have to sit there and just like keep casting reflect on the whole party every single turn because he's going to take some of it off anyways with his normal
Yeah.
attacks. And then keep inflicting the fire weakness on him constantly, and that's like how eventually you get lucky, he does it, and you win. You know, it's like, so it's. I didn't like that boss at all. It was fucking stupid, dude.
I will say I like the term the points in the turn system like we already talked about.
Yeah.
I just think my biggest thing with it is the bosses really take advantage of that. They give every boss soul cry or war cry or whatever the fuck, and they just get, oh, I'm gonna get 20 turns now and fuck you. And it's like, okay, I do have stuff in my arsenal to take their turns away,
Yeah,
but it's also like, bro, what the fuck is this? Like, I don't know. Like,
get ready for the last boss, man.
yeah, I heard the last boss was a fucking bitch
my
too.
fucking god, dude. Yeah.
So,
I actually had to lower the difficulty. It was that annoying. Like I couldn't do it, man.
I don't blame you. I almost considered lowering the difficulty for the dragon, but I didn't. But it's like, I just don't think those 30. I feel like the designers thought like 30 days is enough. I feel like you need to give me at least 2 months, bro. Like, especially if you're like, if you didn't take the due diligence that I did, and I was just like, okay, I don't give a fuck how much of a gap is the final boss going to be. I don't want to know what the final boss is going to be or who it's going to be or whatever, but I just want to know the level. So I typed in like final boss level, and it was like level this, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? That is impossible to get in 30 days. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's crazy. And then you're trying to do like the side missions and stuff like that too. It's just like, I don't know. The game kind of just fucks you over, like, in my opinion. I don't know. It's just, I remember in Persona 5, they open up the days a lot more to where you can do like at least 3 to 4 activities. Maybe I don't remember that wrong, but like,
no,
you can
it's
at least
still
do
2. It's 2.
It's still 2. Okay.
Yeah, it's still 2.
Um,
I think the breadth of activities you can do in Persona is significantly better than Metaphor, though. Metaphor is,
yeah,
dude. When you get everyone's bond level to max, there is nothing to do, and you've like maxed out all your virtues. There's literally nothing to do. Like I think the thing with Persona is that it is not really possible to do all those things in one playthrough unless you really follow a guide. So you never have a situation where you run out of things to do. You know, so. But I've heard of people being done 15 or 20 days before where you are, basically, where they're just literally sleeping day after day because there's nothing else to do. Like you just sleep. So it's
yeah.
yeah, but well, cool. I mean, how many days do you have left?
I think like 14,
Okay.
13 maybe.
I would recommend going into the dungeon that you have in front of you soon.
Okay.
Don't wait till the final day.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just say that. And that dungeon is long, by the way, so it's going to be a hefty amount of time for sure.
All right.
Might be a good place for you to grind though too, but I think the final final dungeon is much more conducive to actually grinding. So, yeah, you may just want to wait for that. Honestly.
Okay.
So, cool. Anything else on Metaphor?
No, that's it.
All right, let's move on to the news. We got 3 stories this week. Kind of some heavy hitters actually. So we don't have a ton of news, but good stuff. So our first story is Bungie's game that spun off when when PlayStation came in and kind of canceled some shit and took control of one of their teams. Has kind of leaked. And this was through the Game Post is the name of the site. They had an exclusive report on this. This has since been corroborated by a number of outlets. Is that they are working on a game called Gummy Bears, which was incubated at Bungie and is now part of the Sony team that split off. And this game is being described as a Smash Bros. Esque MOBA. So this game is a MOBA. It's going to have lanes and towers and minions and stuff like that, like any MOBA would. But the game, you don't do damage based on hit points to the enemy team, though. You do. There's a percentage damage system which knocks you back further, just like Smash Bros. The higher your percentage is, and you can be knocked all the way off the map, basically. Is kind of how it sounds like it works. The game will have different classes of characters: support, attack, defense types. Towers also. This sounds interesting. Actually, they're not going to be static. They may be able to move, change location, gain abilities and stuff of their own as well. And then the game is very it is being described as lo-fi and catering to a younger demographic, basically than anything Bungie's done in the past, like Halo, Destiny, etc. So this is going to be a more lighthearted, more colorful game than those games. So, but the game internally is viewed as being fun, very fun right now, and but frankly, doesn't mean a whole lot. I mean, we've seen what Sony's opinion on live service games can amount to with Concord, and this is more of a I'll believe it when I see it kind of thing. So, Montreal, does that concept sound interesting to you at all?
Yeah, I just have to see it. And usually, when people try to do their own spin on like MOBAs, it's not really too fun. If that makes any
I
sense, it's
mean,
like
Valve's hit it with Deadlock though.
yeah, but we haven't played Deadlock. Yeah, I haven't played Deadlock at least. So
No, I haven't either.
yeah, so I don't know.
Gotta get off League brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's another thing too. Like that's my thing is like, how does it compare to League? And maybe I shouldn't do that, but it's like it is a good baseline.
It is. It's true.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just how my brain is, as far as that. So yeah, I want to see how it goes, and because like I don't like the Pokemon MOBA. What's it called? I forgot what it's called, but I don't like the Pokemon MOBA. But everybody loves the Pokemon MOBA, but I actually don't like it at all. So
Okay. I think the Smash Bros thing though, the damage system, the percent damage system, that is going to be very, very weird in a game like this.
yeah.
I'm really curious how that works because, like, dude, team fights are going to be weird as hell. Where it's like you're not necessarily you're not killing people, right away. Like the fights are going to be drawn out. It sounds like potentially, because to the to get people to the point where you knock them off the map, like you're gonna have to do a lot of damage, I assume. So meaning that you're gonna keep knocking them back, and then they're gonna come back, and you're gonna fight them again, and then they're gonna come back, and you're gonna fight them again, and then you're finally gonna kill them, and then you'll get the objective. And it's like, so it's like that's the interesting part. I want to see how that works in practice. It's an interesting concept, but I feel like in a MOBA it could be really strange. Honestly, so but hey, I mean they're trying something new. I like at least they're exploring different ideas. And yeah, so we'll see. Don't know when we'll hear more about this game necessarily, but sure it'll be in the next year or two, hopefully. But so yeah, we'll see. All right, let's move on to our next story. This one's also Sony focused. This just came out today, right before we started recording, actually. Sony has canceled 2 projects, unannounced live service games from Bluepoint and Bend Studio. The Bend one is not was not detailed very much at all, but Jason Schreier did say that Bluepoint was working on a live service God of War game, and that was canceled. So these are 2 big cancellations. I mean, I'm at the point with this. This whole live service initiative has been an absolute fucking disaster for Sony. I mean, Helldivers 2 notwithstanding, I mean, it's just miss after miss after miss, cancellation after cancellation after cancellation. I mean, how much fucking money have they wasted on these games? We got
Yeah.
fair games, which we've literally not heard about since it was announced. Who knows what the fuck that state that game is in at this point, and what their plans are with that. I mean, we got the canceled Naughty Dog game. We got Concord, which was a fucking complete flop and disaster. Um, I don't know, man. Like, it's what's your take on all this?
I think they're just trying to get rid of the old guards initiative. The old guards initiative was to get, more live service games and everything of that nature. But we
Mm-hmm.
also are in 2025, and we are I'll say 3 to 4 years removed away from COVID. So live
Yeah,
service is not really a thing anymore. We already had the huge exodus of live service games that happened like a year ago, I believe.
yeah,
Um, so I think they're just trying to like slowly phase out all this stuff, but they don't want to be like big news. If they just cancel all of them at like one time. So I think they're slowly just rolling them out and
yeah,
canceling them if they're not to completion now. And also, I think Concord being a major flop that it was contributed a lot to this, in my opinion.
yeah.
They had a win, like you said, with Helldivers, but I don't even think they predicted Helldivers would be this big
Right,
um, at
right.
all. So, uh, yeah, I mean, it's sad that like those people like. Luckily, I don't think anyone's losing their jobs or anything like that. But it's sad that if you worked on a game, especially if you wanted to work on that game, that your work's getting scrapped or whatever. But I got a feeling I'm like
Yeah,
85% sure a lot of those people didn't want to work on those live service games, or
yeah,
whatever the case may be. So I think it's a win-win for everybody. Like Sony doesn't lose money. We don't get to see the God of War franchise milk to death, and uh, not another live service games coming out. So win-win.
yeah. Um, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you on the idea that maybe they're just like this is like the new regime, new leadership just coming in and like cutting what the prior group was doing. Um, for sure. That definitely is what this feels like. It's just so much money though. What an investment of money and time just gone. What a waste. Like this generation for PlayStation is feeling really shitty right now. um
I
it,
think they're in their restructure mode. They don't have a vision for sure. We don't know the vision
yeah,
right now, but I feel like
yeah,
they're definitely in a restructure mode right now. If that
yeah.
makes any sense.
No, I agree. I think that's true. It just the unfortunately the way how long games take to make now, it's playing out in such a way where it's like, dude, the PS5 generation is going to have very few true first party exclusives on it.
Yeah,
A lot of the games that we're going to see coming up, I don't like, dude, I don't like Intergalactic. I mean, I'm hoping it comes out late this year or next year, but I feel like that is serious like hopium, you know. I think realistically, it's probably next year or the year after, probably. And even with Ghost of Yote coming out, I mean, it's still like we don't know when the Venom game's coming. We don't know about Wolverine. There's just a lot of shit out there that we don't really know. And then Santa Monica had a game that they're working on that isn't a God of War game as well. We don't know about that. We have no idea when that's coming. Also, so it just feels like this generation's a little sparse right now from the first party output for Sony. But in terms of these games, though, live service God of War game, like, is that an interesting idea to you, or is this just like did they just seriously go to every single IP they have that's popular and say let's make a live service game? You know, it's just so fucking reductive and stupid. Like, I don't know.
you know, I I mean, we already did. What was in live service, but it was a God of War online game or a multiplayer game, which was Ascension.
Yeah.
So I
What
don't
did it?
remember it being super popular, but a lot of people did
Yeah.
play it, so maybe it was popular.
Yeah.
And maybe they tried to retread that ground again or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
I personally don't want a um live service God of War game. I don't want live service anything, to be honest with you. But God of War is like really weird. And it
What
was
would you
really weird
even
when they
do
made.
with it? Like, what would it even be? Like, I don't even understand. Like, what would the concept even be? Um, the place where that franchise is not ready for a game like this. Like, I think Horizon, where the story left off with Horizon 2, like
Yeah.
that series is in a much more conducive place for a live service game, like a true actual MMO, because we've only seen the western part of the United States. You have an entire planet that we've had hints of with some of the factions we see in the second game, of what's going on in the rest of the world, and there's a lot I feel like you can do with that in an MMO, whereas God of War is not remotely in that place. Like we've only, like, we know Greece is basically destroyed, like Kratos fucking destroyed it, and then with the Norse stuff, like that's the only place that you have. So yeah, I mean, you have a whole globe to work with God of War, but I don't really know what you would do with it. Like, is it going to be like a kind of like a Ghost of Tsushima Legends style thing, where maybe it's like a horde mode game and you like level up and get equipment and shit, stuff like that? It just sounds boring. Like, I don't really know. I don't know. I'm probably not creative enough to come up with a good idea, but clearly Sony didn't feel like whatever they had cooking was good enough either. So what a waste of Blue Point's time too, dude. Seriously, what a fucking waste of their time. Like, they could have probably remade 2 games by now, since
Bloodborne.
yeah, exactly, since they did Demon Souls. Like, what a fucking waste of their time. It's so stupid. It's so annoying. Bend, is whatever. I don't. Their output has just been kind of disappointing, and they take forever to make games. So I don't know how much you're losing with them wasting their time on this, but you're still wasting their time though. And they're not closing either studio, they said, either. So clearly they still want to maintain these teams and do something with them, and they're gonna probably start working on other projects soon. But at the same time, it's just, man, it's like we've been getting on Microsoft, like they've been fucking up this generation plenty, but man, Sony's not really doing any better. They just happen to be in pole position, and
Mhm.
they have the better machine ultimately overall, and the better ecosystem. But they built that up last generation for the most part, and it's like, I
Yeah.
just feel like they're kind of riding that wave. They're not doing a whole lot this generation to convince people they need a PlayStation, So, um, but yeah. Any other thoughts on these?
No, that's it for me.
All right, let's move on to our final story for this week. Man, finally fucking happened. How many leaks had to happen before Nintendo said, fuck it, we're announcing the goddamn console, okay? The
Here,
Switch 2,
damn.
the Switch 2 has finally been announced. They dropped a 2-minute trailer today. And they just showed the console off. They showed a couple features on it, and then they showed gameplay of a Mario Kart game on it, which presumably is a new Mario Kart game, I would assume. So
Oh, so it's not the same Mario Kart game?
I don't think so. I don't think so. If they're showing Mario Kart 8, fucking shoot me in the head. Like,
I genuinely thought it was Mario Kart 8.
no, shoot me in the fucking head. Like, I mean, DJ was speculating it's going to be like a Mario Kart Ultimate, where they kind of release every track and every character that's been in all the games, which is a good idea. I think that's probably the right approach, similar to Smash Bros with that. So, but they didn't give a release date. They said it's coming in 2025. There will be a direct on it on okay. DJ was right, actually. So 4/2/2025 is what the trailer says. This is in the Nintendo of America trailer, so I think it is actually April 2nd. But he was saying maybe they, how Europeans have the dates backwards, where 4/2 actually means February 4th.
Yeah.
I don't think it's coming that soon, so I think this actually means April.
Okay.
And given that the console is probably coming out in June, maybe, or maybe later in the year, who knows? They might do a fall release. I think that's crazy. I don't think they could last that long. Like, they're really dragging it out if they go that far out, personally. But I mean, what do you think? Do you think they would do June, or do you think they really would wait till the fall?
It would be really foolish to wait till the fall. If
Right,
honestly, if they can muster up the supply, I would try to shoot for right after April or right in April, the same month, because we just got the Nintendo Directs at the beginning of the month, and then I would shoot for like April 30th at the end of the month or something like that. That's just me, because I feel like Not only we had a story a couple weeks ago about third party vendors being like really upset with
Yep.
Nintendo
Yep.
because like they want to get they're holding their inventory.
Yep.
Um, the players are everyone I know is ready just for a Switch 2 at this point. We're tired
Yep.
of it. I love my old Switch, but we're just tired of it.
Yep.
Um,
I agree.
and yeah, we're just ready for something new, um, and more powerful. Pretty much. I don't even want if there was a Switch point 5, 1.5 or whatever. Like I would go for that. I just want something more powerful. Um, I don't need I don't need PS5 level graphics, but I do want something more powerful.
Yeah.
That can handle these games and maybe run a little bit better and stuff like that. Like I said, it was very obvious with games like Astral Chain that they really needed more power to do what they wanted to do with it. Um,
Mm, mhm.
but yeah, I don't think fall. I think fall is just like I don't understand what they're waiting for. Maybe they're trying to wait for the economy because like a lot of moving parts are happening right now as far as like geopolitics and stuff like that. So maybe
Yeah.
they're
Sure.
trying to wait for to see what happens with that. Um,
I think they've waited
but
too long. Personally, I think this thing should
ex-
already be fucking out.
I was just
I
gonna say that I think
Yeah.
the longer you wait, the worse it's gonna get. You just need to
Yeah,
get
because you're just making the technology more like aged, you know,
yeah
as
yeah
the more you wait. Because this thing, people are speculating this thing is basically like a PS4, level of power, and it's like, what? Like, what the fuck, man? It's like that's so disappointing. It's the word I would use. It's like, it's just so that's what your flagship's gonna be for what the next 8 years. You're gonna do this again. Like, I feel like there will need to be another console sooner than the gap between these two. Like, the gap between the two and what presumably would be the three needs to be shorter because um I mean, Nintendo, like the Switch is fine, but man, I have not wanted to play this thing for 2 years, dude. Like I am over it. I'm sick of it. Like the games don't run well on it. It is struggling to play anything that isn't a Nintendo specific Nintendo game, and even Nintendo's own games struggle like to run on the console. So I'm like, man, I'm just like, shit or get off the pot with this already, dude. It's like, what are they waiting for? Like, they better have like 6 fucking banger launch games or something crazy, ready to go. Cause if it's literally just like, oh, we got Mario Kart and that's it. It's like, what the fuck what have you been doing? What have you been doing? There have been no games for the last like year and a half, on the damn console. It's just been like remakes of shit, you know? So um I don't know. It's just a little it's fucking annoying. It's frustrating. I think they've been dragging their feet and I'm ready for them to show, to like actually release this thing. But what do you think about what they showed in the video though? The kind of some of the subtle changes to the way that like Joy-Cons connect to the console. They're no longer going to be on that like metal track they have on the side. It's just literally just like plugs in and connects to the sides, it looks like.
I can see some people breaking that. Honestly,
I
I don't know
kind of
what it.
agree. I'm actually surprised. I'm curious how it works too. Does it like snap in? Like, does the plastic like snap in? Because that could break.
Yeah,
If that's how it works, or is it literally just being held there by the plug? On the side of the console, which is definitely I feel like wouldn't be super secure. Like it
yeah,
would come out and stuff like that. So so that's an interesting change. They did show the base, the like the kickstand or whatever on the back is a little different now too. It's not just the little the tiny little thing. It's kind of like
thank God. Yeah, that
uh
tiny little kickstand it used to make me nervous when I used
I
it.
always felt like it's gonna break every
Yeah,
time you touch it, dude. Like every time you take it out. But the it's also bigger as well. They demonstrated that it is larger than the original Switch. It seems more like Steam Deck sized actually. Um, Maybe a little bit taller and less like not as wide. Might be a little like fatter, but a little bit taller potentially than the Steam Deck. But yeah, so that's interesting as well, which is cool. I think the Switch is like almost quaint now with all these handhelds coming out, these like PC handhelds. Because yeah, it's actually kind of small compared to those.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I don't know. I'm looking at it and I like the bigger screen. That's like the my biggest
Yes.
plus on it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But dude, the
That
bezel they showed again though. Ugh, come on. You know? I
you don't
don't
like the bezel?
No, it's just why is it so big? It's a huge bezel around the fucking screen, man. Like it's too much.
I don't think it's that bad.
It's pretty bad.
You're over exaggerating. I don't
It's
think it's
pretty
that
bad.
bad.
It's pretty bad. I think it's pretty bad.
You act like it's like an inch thick. It's like
Hold on, I'm
maybe
gonna
two
go look at.
centimeters,
I'm gonna look at my
two
Steam Deck. Like
millimeters.
how is it on? How is it on Steam Deck? Oh, I haven't turned this thing on in like a month. Well, okay. Outside of that, they did show the dock also. Doesn't really look too different. It's got rounded edges instead of the hard edges. Um, any thoughts on the other stuff they showed?
It's nothing too impressive about the actual docking station. I can't wait till I get a better docking station. To be honest with you, the one I have, I bought a third party docking station that's like way better than the one I have, the original docking stations for the Switch.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
the original Switch docking station is so flimsy.
yeah, I didn't like it at all. It
It's
was too
hilarious.
much. It was too much plastic. Actually, like
Yeah.
docking station I have, it just has like it eliminates all that and it just has like all the key components and it doesn't
Okay.
have all the plastic and stuff like that. So I mean, that's what I kind of wanted from this docking station, or at least give me the ability to take that front plate off or something like that. I just want my Switch to be like presentable in the living room or something, or in my room or whatever. Like I'm
Gotcha.
really big on that presentability. And then
Yeah.
I don't know, the docking station just doesn't look presentable. It's not a big deal for me though, but like it is one of the things I do like. Only like I said, the only thing I was nervous about when I heard about the leaks last week was the headphone jack. I
Yeah.
really hope that this thing has Bluetooth. And if it
We'll
doesn't,
see.
what the fuck, Nintendo? Like, it's 2025, man. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
What do you think of the name Switch 2? Nintendo
Thank
Switch 2?
God. Yeah, I would
You
have
think
liked the Switch Pro, but I think the Switch 2 is cool.
No, I think Nintendo they're clearly wary of anything other than just using a number, I think, here, and it makes sense because the Wii U is such a disaster because of that. And I think they don't want to make that same mistake, because even calling it the Switch Pro or the Switch, the Super Switch, like I don't think either of those monikers makes it super clear that it's a new console, especially Pro, because of what PlayStation does with the with the PlayStation 5 Pro and stuff. I think that would confuse people for sure. So I think using a number it's just the way to go. I will say this is the first time Nintendo's ever, besides the NES to Super NES, like this is the first time they've really, in a long time, uh, just iterated on a previous console. I think you could argue that the Switch is an iterative design on the Wii U to some degree, but it's not that close where I would definitively say that for sure. This is like very clearly kind of just the same thing, but better, and modernized. So that is notable as well, for sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad they didn't go all out. I mean, they definitely are playing it safe, and I think after their track record, that's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm definitely not mad at it at all.
Okay. You know what? You're right. Looking at the Steam Deck, there's some bezel on here too.
Yeah,
It's
man.
okay. All right. Fine. All right. I'll get off Nintendo's back. All right. Fine. I'm an asshole.
I think the Steam Deck is ugly. I think it's an ugly console.
I mean, it's ugly, but it's a fucking beast. Thing's so
It
good.
is a beast. It's just so ugly.
Who cares? What the fuck, dude? Who gives a shit? You're embarrassed on the plane. You're like, oh, my Steam Deck's so ugly. Everyone's gonna think I'm a
Nah, I'm not
loser.
embarrassed. It's just ugly. It's just an
Okay.
ugly console.
Okay.
But all of his competitors look cheap though, so I don't
Yeah.
really want, like, I would just buy a Steam Deck over like the Legion or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay. Any games you're hoping to see? with the console kind of announcement and maybe a launch date potentially.
Like launch title games.
Yes. Yeah.
I already think we got those.
Mario
I would
Kart,
say, yeah, I think Mario Kart's gonna be one. I think Metroid's gonna be one.
Metroid. Yeah.
I would like to see a Xenoblade Chronicles 4 or something like that. Something from Monolith Soft.
That might be a launch window. That might be a launch
Yeah.
window game if we're lucky. I don't think it would be
but
a launch
I
game.
already got my game, which is, you already know, the X. So I'm good with that.
Well, now, dude, we're in a dilemma now, though, aren't we? Because like, isn't this the exact scenario I was worried about? Like, dude, like I said, I need to see how X runs on the Switch, because if it isn't a smooth frame rate, I don't know if I want to play it, dude, on Switch. Like, I might just wait till Switch 2, honestly. But we'll see. I may not be able to withhold the temptation, though, because
you're not.
I know you're gonna play it. You're gonna be hyping it up on the pod. I'm gonna be
Yep.
seeing videos of this game. I'm gonna see people talking about it on Twitter, and I'm just gonna be like, "Fuck, I gotta play it," you know. So you're not wrong. I'm probably gonna buckle, but
I just want, you know what I want, man? I just want low spec games on this console that are on the PS5 and Xbox 360. I want to be able to play like Monster Hunter or something like that on this console and be like okay with it. But I know we're not going to get that. You know, that, I mean, Monster Hunter Wilds for sure. We're definitely not getting that. That's crazy.
Well, that's not a low spec game. You're meaning
exactly.
like Rise, though, stuff like Rise.
Yeah, I want games like, you remember how games used to come out for PS2, Xbox, and they'll come out for the GameCube as well. Some games did all three, and I really want the Switch and Nintendo to be in that conversation again. As far as like releasing games for it or whatever. I don't really want, like, you know, the Call of Duties or anything like that, but I think it would be cool. I mean, I think Doom is on Switch, but it's like, it would be cool to play Doom without it looking like shit, or The Witcher 3 without it looking like shit, or something like that, or The Witcher 4, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
You know, that's to your point. This is why I want this console to be a little bit more powerful, because there are some games where I just want to play on the go. I mean, and the Steam Deck has that option, that functionality, not for all the games, but for like a lot of games. You know, their Steam Deck ready or something of that nature. Or verified, Steam Deck verified. So it's just like, that's what I want. What I really want, though, is I really want their old franchises to make a return for launch titles. I want a Star Fox, man. Like, give me a fucking Star Fox, bro. You know, we haven't had a Star Fox launch title since Star Fox 64, and I don't think that was a launch title. I bought my N60. By the time I got my N64, Star Fox was out, and I bought it with Star Fox, and I fucking love the fuck out of Star Fox.
What a game, bro! What a game! Yeah. I've been thinking about doing a retro kick on Switch and like just signing up for the Switch Online and like playing a bunch of their old games, you know, through there. I've been thinking about it because I've been kind of been having a hankering to play some Zelda, maybe like Ocarina of Time or something, or Majora's Mask. Yeah. Dude, I have not played either of those games in a very, very long time, like over a decade probably.
Can I say one hot take? I don't think this is a hot take for us anymore. But bro, I think, first of all, Breath of the Wild, regardless of what me and you think, phenomenal game, obviously changed the landscape of gaming. I don't really think it's that good of a Zelda game, but it is a good game for what technology they did, and all the stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
That being said, that game was a fucking mistake.
Yeah.
I am tired of every game having a fucking large world. I played Wuthering Waves. I forgot this shit happened. I played Wuthering Waves, and I'm getting through the fucking, because I already passed the tutorial. I played it on PC, so I had to do the tutorial section again, right? And they're like, "Oh, to go down to the Tacit Field, jump and get your glider." Oh my
glider,
God,
the glider, bro. Then I'd immediately turn you off, and you're just like, "Fuck this game, bro."
No, I'm still. I got to the city, and I'm gonna play it some more because I actually like everything. I forgot how like, you know, turn not heavy the game is. Ooh, gonna get
Oh,
my
it's
fucking
so bad,
task.
dude. The beginning of Wuthering Waves is fucking miserable. Like I'm telling you, just skip the cutscenes, man, for like until
No,
you
I
get
do. I absolutely love that they summarize when you skip the fucking cutscenes. I have been
okay.
doing that shit.
Yes, yes. Okay,
But
good. Yeah,
yeah, I say that to say though, every game, even games that haven't, it's this other game I want to, I think it's called Hyperlight or whatever. It kind of looks like, kind of has the same feel as, they're clearly inspired by some aspects of Breath of the Wild in that game. I mean, like
mm-hmm.
even like Elden Ring and stuff like that, right? These games are inspired by like Breath of the Wild. It was like, oh, Montrell is just an open world game. We've had those forever, and it's like,
Yeah,
no, yes, we have had those forever, but every open world game used to have their own particular style, and everything now is just like, oh, let's just be Breath of the fucking Wild. And
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just over it. And I hope I pray and I'm praying to like the Nintendo gods that, or you know what, fuck it, like just the Ocarina, the Zelda team, because they do a very good job at checking themselves.
yeah,
And I pray they're just like, we're over this shit. Like
yeah,
Tears of the Kingdom was it for us, bro. We're going back to like base Zelda, or we're just going to do something completely different,
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
because I am tired of it. I would love a launch title Zelda game for this thing, but I don't think they ever did that for a console. Actually, I don't think
yeah.
they ever had a launch title for Zelda for any of the consoles. But I actually would like. I mean, was Super Mario 64? Was that a launch title for?
Yes.
Yeah, I would
Yep.
like a Super Mario game, man. I would like a
Yeah,
real
I
deal
mean,
Super Mario game.
Odyssey was the
It
last
wasn't a
3D
launch.
game.
Yeah, it wasn't a launch title
It
though.
came out that year, 2017. But
Oh, that's true.
the
That's
the
true.
last Mario game was Wonder that came out in 2023, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It depends if the Odyssey team did they work on one of those games? Did they work on Wonder, or have they been working on a 3D Mario game since Odyssey? If it's that, then yeah, they may have a game ready for sure. But I don't know.
I
It's
don't win the 2D Mario. I know these games sell like fucking hotcakes.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I really want a 3D Mario game, like maybe
I
Odyssey
just
2
I
or
just
a
I want
fucking Galaxy game or something like that, or
yeah,
maybe
I
like
need something with more like dude, Odyssey was the movement tech in Odyssey is insane, The the shit you can do with Mario in that game is crazy. Some of the things people pull off. I'm so fucking bad at Mario, dude. Like I can't do shit like that. I'm awful at it. But dude, like that my issue with Odyssey though was just the quantity over quality mindset that the game had, like from a design standpoint, with the moons and shit. I just
Mhm.
need them to go back. And this is my same problem with Zelda, like with Breath of the Wild, and I mean I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom, but I'm sure it's similar, where it's all quantity over quality. The whole game, it's just like they're just packing it with as much shit as possible, whether it's good or not. And I don't feel like I hear that critique very often for these games, but that just seems to be the mindset Nintendo got into with those two series of games. And I think if with Mario and Zelda both, I just want them to go back to a little bit more of a quality over quantity mindset where you have, yeah, maybe the game's 30 hours and that's okay. It's like they don't have to be 100-hour games, bro. And we have these amazing games with like great fucking puzzles that are you know, are actually great. Whereas you have some of these shit ass shrines in Breath of the Wild, bro, are so bad. Like they are miserably bad, some of them. And then in some of the moons in Odyssey are just so dumb, dude. It's literally like turn around and go behind your ship and there's a moon. Oh, good job. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Or go to the shop and spend 100 coins and you get a moon. Oh, it's like what the fuck? Like, what is this shit? It's like it's so stupid. Like, I'm not putting any effort or like having to even think to get these. It's just
yeah.
so. That's what I want to see fall away. I just like that shit needs to go away. Or you know what I want, honestly, dude? Give us a follow up to Donkey Kong 64. You know, not a
Mm,
game, not a game that I think is a very good game. Like, I truly don't think it's a great game, but
it's not.
but it is beloved and people love it. And even I
It
have
is.
nostalgia for it.
It's just a fun game, though. It's not a
It
good
is a
game,
fun
but
game.
it's just a fun game. Like I
It's
can't
just
explain it to y'all.
it's dude, control wise and everything, and the concept of it is great. It's just full of repeated content over and over again, though. That's the
Yeah,
issue with the
yeah.
game. Is like you end up doing the same mini game in every world, for a banana, and it's like fucking annoying as shit. So but what I will say is it had a great atmosphere, and like the design of it overall, like there's some really
But
interesting ideas there. I think
yeah,
a modern follow up to that game specifically would make people lose their fucking minds, and even
I
I would be like fucking so ready for that shit. So maybe
yeah,
I would like something like that. Maybe not a Mario. Maybe we don't get Mario.
yeah.
Um,
I
go with one of
you
your
know,
other franchises.
I really want a follow up, like a correct follow up, because I don't think any other game did it justice. Um, I guess you can count Second Attack, but I really want like a Bomberman 64 too. Like the
Oh
movement that you could do in
man,
Bomberman is so fucking crazy. And 64
yeah.
in particular was so fucking crazy. I just think the game was there was no other Bomberman. Like I love Bomberman Hero and I love Bomberman Second Attack. Don't get me wrong, I love those games. But 64, there was just something about 64. The way you had to bounce in the bombs to get to certain areas and
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
make the bombs big. Like you actually felt like
Yeah.
I don't know, Bomberman. Like he had tech and everything that he can use
Those
to beat the
levels
other
were really
bosses.
large too.
Yeah.
From what I remember. I have a really soft spot for Second Attack. I fucking love that game. I really like the condensed levels in that game actually. They were
Mhm.
they reminded me a lot of Mega Man. They were like Mega Man
Mm.
levels in a Bomberman game. Especially with the bosses and the fact that you got like the special bombs from beating the bosses and stuff. So there was kind of like a marriage there that really hit me. I like Bomberman 64. I don't think I personally think Second Attack is actually better, but I can understand where you're coming from. I don't think 64 is a bad game. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely
Yeah.
good. But yeah, that would be cool. But that it's not their IP though. Bomberman is Konami, so that would be a Konami would they would either need to work with Konami to make that game or fund it or something, or Konami's just going to have to make it themselves, which they're not going to. They're going to keep shitting out Super Bomberman R or whatever the fuck this series is that they've been doing with the Switch. Like I don't even know, dude. I don't even want to go look
Well,
at it.
I don't like the traditional Bomberman where it's like you set the bomb down and you run away. And then it has like, 4 hexes that it kills or whatever. I like
Yeah.
the fact that you can pick up the bomb, you can throw the bomb. It wasn't very grid based. And even with like Bomberman Second Attack, it felt grid based, if that makes any
Yeah.
sense. Like the levels were
Yeah.
good, but it felt very grid based, whereas 64 was
See,
like
okay.
very free roam, in my
Oh, that's
opinion.
right. The bombs exploded in a dome. That's right. I forgot about
Yeah.
that. I fucking totally forgot about that. Yeah, that was the issue. Okay, so I'm the opposite of you in this regard with Bomberman. I am very much into the hex stuff, like
Okay,
the
okay.
squares, like the explosion of
Yeah.
the squares. Because the reason is because of Atomic Bomberman from the 90s, which is a PC Bomberman game that was a multiplayer game, and it's the fucking best fucking game, dude. Like I swear to God, dude, if we ever stream, we have got to play this fucking game together. And like,
Alright.
it's so goddamn fun. It's crazy. You should go watch some videos of it. It fucking rules. But so I'm much more into Bomberman, like the more like traditional square grid based Bomberman because of that. So that's kind of where 64 lost me a little bit. The nebulous nature of how big your dome explosion was kind of annoying because getting power ups could actually be bad for you because you
I
couldn't get away
know.
from the bomb in time. You know,
I loved it. I loved it,
it
man.
was fucking stupid. But there
Especially
was
when you pump it.
multiplayer. There was multiplaer in both games, I think, that was
Yeah, there
cool.
were. Yeah.
So that's also an element of Bomberman. I think I miss a lot as multiplayer. They were those games were deceptively like under the radar good with at multiplayer. Like they were super
Yeah.
fun to play with other people. So uh,
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I just um also I would like in this would be a stretch, right? But what if Microsoft was like, all right, man, Nintendo, you can have our IP, and they just are not let her have it. You can borrow it, and they just make a
mm,
fucking Banjo Kazooie game, and they
I
just make
mean,
a good Banjo
brother,
Kazooie
dude,
game.
Montreal, if that ever happens, that show is just gonna be me screaming into the mic for an hour straight. Like it's I mean, It's never gonna happen though. It's never gonna happen.
It's never gonna happen. But I mean, those are the games though that like really made 64. I just want the Switch 2 to be like 64, like not 64 as far as the games, but like I really 64 really had a really good catalog of like IPs that they tried. I would really like for them to try Quest 64 out again. I just want them to try Quest out again. As bad as that game was, I liked it.
Yeah.
And it's probably because I was like, we were kids and we couldn't just go out and buy another game. So I had to learn this game that I bought.
Aiden Chronicles 2 is what I need in my life.
Aiden Chronicles. Wait, that sounds familiar.
Oh, it's so trash, but I love it. It's such a stupid. It's such a dumb bad. It's such a bad RPG, but it's at the same time it's so good. I love it. It's the last game that came out on the N64.
Okay.
And it was a game. It's got a lot of history. It was a very failed and late attempt at an open world RPG, like a Western style open world RPG, on the Nintendo 64. And it's not very good, but I love it. It's got terrible sound effects. The game is like the game is so large it could not fit on the cartridge, so they had to sacrifice things like sound effects and stuff. And the game doesn't run very well. It's very obtuse. It's very strange, but it's also just super good at the same time.
It reminds me of like EverQuest if it was low poly.
Sure, yeah. Or you know those old school first person RPGs on PC from like the 90s, like Lands of Lore and shit like that. It kind of is like one of those. And it's so weird that it came to N64 of all places. It's such a weird place to release that kind of game. But yeah, no, that's got a special place in my heart. Now, you said Monolith Soft. What if just stick with me for a second? What if they announced Bait and Kato's 3?
I don't think they'll do that. I don't think Bait and Kato sold enough.
Never, not gonna happen.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think I'm happy with the remaster. That was for us. I feel like they listened to the podcast and they're like, all right, guys, here you go.
I can't believe we got that. I cannot believe. No, I mean, this is my point about the last year and a half, though. They are scraping the bottom of the barrel for every remaster and re-release they possibly can, dude, to drag the Switch on. It's like Bait and Kato's, like who? Yeah, we want it, but it's like we are such a minority with that, So, but I don't know. There's a lot they could do, man. I mean, this is my issue with Nintendo. Like, I just feel like the Switch generation for me has actually been largely a disappointment overall because I think they've kind of gone into a place of like kind of just regurgitating the same few IPs, and they're not the ones they're doing it with, and what they're doing with them is not appealing to me. Like I'm not into Zelda. I'm not into the 3D Mario. Fire Emblem's really the one like beacon for me that's still pretty good with them, but otherwise, like, I mean, and the Xenoblade, of course, obviously, but the main like Nintendo stuff, the stuff that people know Nintendo for, like like Mario Kart, I'm just not. I don't know, even Smash, like I'm just not into it, man. And it's like they're not going into the well in the right places, like they're not doing an interesting like a Donkey Kong 3D platformer, that would be, I feel like would be huge. They're not doing the Star Fox game, trying to get Star Fox back in people's eyes. It's like I don't know.
And even like Smash Brothers, right? I feel like you can do stuff. I feel like Smash Brothers open up these characters to do a lot more shit, right? Particularly like action games.
Yeah.
I was just thinking in my head, what if they got, their platinum is like no longer like what it used to be anymore. I think that happened last week. I forgot to put that story in. Another lead designer.
I remember that. Yeah, I saw that story.
Yeah. But
they're falling apart. Like Platinum's, they might be gone in a few years. Like,
yeah. And if Capcom is willing to like lease out Clover Studios or whatever, like maybe get them to hey, can you do this third party? I was thinking about like we have a Sheik game or a Zelda game, Ocarina of Time, and showing what Sheik was doing in the background for Zelda. You see what I'm saying? Like, or for while Link was doing the dungeons, like what was Sheik doing in the background? Because obviously there was some moving parts there that we don't have context for that she was doing in the background, and then like even like Captain Falcon and stuff like that. He's a bounty hunter, but we only know him as a racer. But he's clearly like his bio is he's a bounty hunter and everything.
Yeah.
And even in the
Yeah.
in the cartoon, like we see him fight and everything like that. So it's like we have these move sets, and there's already a move set there for you. Like just utilize that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, we don't have to explore even Star Fox. We have a move set for Falco and for Star Fox himself, for Wolf, and it's like you don't have to utilize them in the real shooting way. You can. I know they tried to do it before, but we didn't know what the controls were. We didn't like y'all have to understand third person controls just became good. Like
Yeah.
like in the 360 generation, they just became good. So even when when you're playing like Star Fox, I think it was Assault. You can jump off the ship and stuff.
Oh
like
my
that.
fucking god. Oh, those controls are horrible, dude.
Yes,
Horrifically
they're
bad.
fucking
Like,
terrible.
yeah.
So like maybe they take a shot at that because now we know how to do the third party controls now, or the third. I'm sorry, the third.
Or shit, you
person
remember
control.
Star Fox Adventures?
Yeah, we try that.
Try
again.
that again, dude. Like, but
I
make
like
it
that
good this
game.
time. I mean, it's not a bad game. It's not a bad game.
but it's not good. It's
not great.
It's a
not like
6.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
It's definitely it's cute. It's fun. There's some cool stuff in there, but
yeah,
it's
but
not like an amazing
I
game.
agree. Like we try to tackle Star Fox Adventures again or something like that. Like we can take all these characters out of the traditional means of what they were
Yeah, and
originally intended for.
that's my point. They're not doing this right now. They haven't done this in the Switch generation, in my opinion. Like, I think it's just been a lot of just the same stuff.
You know what I really think? I don't think they expected the Switch to take off as much as it did.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, dude, I'm looking at these trailers on the side of this Switch 2 announcement. Dude, Super Mario Odyssey announcement trailer, 57 million views in 8 years. Breath of the Wild, 31 million. Tears of the Kingdom, 15 million. Fucking parental controls presentation, 49 million views. What the fuck, dude? Like, oh my god. So, they have a huge audience in front of them. That's why I wish they would use this leeway they have to be a little innovative, and do some interesting stuff with their games. It's just all I'm asking, because like Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, based on that trailer they showed, I'm not excited about it. It just looks boring. Like,
Yeah.
it does not look like an interesting game to play. It looks like they're kind of retreading ground they've already traveled, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope that's not the case, but that's kind of what it looks like right now. And Nintendo has the power to do really cool stuff, and I would like to see them flex those muscles a little bit. So
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel like they just choose not to do that for some reason, but like you said, they have the power to do it. I think they have the funds and the talent to do that,
yeah,
and everything. So I don't know, man. It's just really weird that it's insane how safe they play shit, and
yeah,
it annoys me because
yeah,
you have
definitely,
like the wherewithal, you have the talent and everything like that. And maybe that talent, maybe I really think is probably just Nintendo holding the talent back and like, hey, no, we don't want to do that. Make another Zelda game or something like that. Like, well, we really want to do this. Like, I don't think can we not make it a mainline Zelda game? But I say that, and then they did Zelda. What was it called? Tears of Wisdom or something like that.
Echoes of Wisdom. You're talking about the
Echoes of
one that just
Wisdom.
came out. Yeah,
Yeah, I think even though it's not particularly for me, I think like that was them attempting to do something different without Link in there. And I think Echoes kind of sold really decently. And it's a Zelda game; it's gonna probably sell pretty okay. Um, but
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like Four Swords was like really fucking cool. Like that was like a really cool spin on Zelda and everything like that. I don't know. I just like when they try different shit out with their IPs and stuff like that. And it seems like the only franchise they do it with is Mario. And
yeah,
I like Mario a lot, but it's just like, can we do this with other franchises except for
yeah.
Mario?
Dude, Star Fox would be so cool. Imagine like Okay, this is too much,
Like
but
a
like
tactics Star Fox game would be fucking awesome, actually.
sure, which they did that sort of on the
With
3DS
Commander.
with
Yeah.
Command. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I never actually played that game, but no, like imagine a like RPG Star Fox game where you like travel the universe, and like
Mm.
you go to different planets and shit. Like I dare I say Mass Effect esque,
Ooh,
you
okay.
know.
Yeah.
And you kind of get to know the Star Fox universe a little bit. Like all we ever know about is Corneria, and it's like always Corneria is always getting attacked, and then there's the planet that Crystal's from, whatever the fucking dinosaur planet or whatever. Those are the only planets we ever like know about, and then the ones like where Andros is and shit. It's like yeah, give us a game where you're like kind of exploring the galaxy a little bit, and like you can get on foot, and you can do like you can do like shooting missions, or you can do the star space faring missions as well. Like you still have that in the game and stuff, and I that would be fucking dope, dude. Nintendo could do something really unique and interesting there, but I don't think they have the desire to, or like Star Fox isn't big enough for them to try that, but I don't know. Or F-Zero. You could do some interesting shit with F-Zero too. It doesn't have to always be a fucking racing game, you know?
Yeah.
That's
That's
the
what I'm saying.
thing. These IPs are really cool. They have a lot of potential, It's so frustrating.
Yeah, I think the
Um,
Mass Effect idea worked really well with fucking F-Zero as well.
yeah,
You know,
it could. Yeah.
or you can make
Well,
fucking
you no, think of it. It's a racing game, but it's got like a story, and you can like run around and explore, and like you're like kind of trying to like have a racing career in this F-Zero universe,
yeah.
and you're kind of just a guy, but you have like a spaceship and shit, and you're like going from planet to planet or whatever, and like there'd be cool stuff there. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I just they don't like you said, they just don't want to take risk on me or anything like that. Because I will also love another custom Robo game, but we're never gonna
Yeah.
get that. So it's like
No, we're not.
we're never
Unfortunately,
getting
we're not.
we're never
Yeah.
getting that shit. Um so yeah, it's like all these IPs and games that they have that are like stuck on old consoles and stuff like that. And I mean, they could turn Quest into like this very serious Western RPG type game,
Yeah.
because it has
There's
that
your open
setting.
world. There's your open world game too, right
Yeah,
there, dude. You know?
exactly. So I mean, um, I don't know. They're just stuck on their main four or their main one two, which is, in my opinion, it's Zelda and fucking
Mario.
Mario. That's
Yeah.
it.
Those are
And
the big.
then
Those are the big
we'll sprinkle
franchises.
Mario
Yeah.
Kart in there, and that's it. You guys are satisfied. Be happy.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
So
And I want more from Nintendo.
yeah.
Like so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, this could just be we've outgrown Nintendo, man. Unfortunately, like that's also this part very possibly the reality of the situation. So but that's kind of why I want to go onto the Switch and like sign up for the online service and like play some of the old games on there. Because it's been a really long time since I played a lot of that old Super NES and 64 stuff. It's been a really long time since I played any of that stuff. So I'm you know there's like a wave of nostalgia hitting me there. And if Nintendo now won't give it to me now, then I just have to go backwards and play it, from back in the day every once in a while. Um, so yeah. All right, Montreal. That's all we got today. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we go?
Nope, that's it for me.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I was thinking maybe guess the meta score, but I think we can wait another week before we kind of do that for like the big hitters in February.
Oh yeah,
So
for sure.
we'll probably do some of that next week as well. But all right, guys. Well, this will be it for us. If you liked the episode, please like the show, review the show, and subscribe to the show on whatever feed you're listening to it on. And please subscribe to us on YouTube as well. If you'd like to interact with us on Twitter, you can do so at iTrap for the Hokage for Montrell. That is the number 4, not the word. I'm at ThunderNet01, and the show is at the Player's Take. If you'd like to send us a question, you can do so on Twitter, or you can send us an email to theplayerstake01@gmail.com. That'll be it for us, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode. See you next week.